Welcome to another episode of your favorite libertarian. Today we're going to be talking about the Spiritus Systems Fanny Sack MK3. In this review we will be discussing the following: why you would want a fanny pack in the first place, dimensions, and not just the dimensions of this, but the dimensions of this compared to the MK2 sack, pros and cons, what you can fit in it, and of course, final thoughts. Before we get into this review, talking about pros and cons, specs, all that good stuff, I first want to address the question of why you would want a fanny pack in the first place. And I've broken it up into three criteria. First of which is going to be summer carry and wearing shorts. Second is going to be the ability to add or subtract gear very easily. Third is going to be theme parks. Wow, if you thought a fanny pack was going to be exciting, wait till we start talking about shorts. Here's the thing. In the summer, I typically will wear shorts. If I can avoid it and wear jeans instead, I will, because EDC is way easier with jeans and a good belt and a t-shirt. But if I have to, I'll wear shorts. The problem that I have with most shorts is that they don't have the same amount of pockets in the same places, in the same style of pockets as jeans do. There are a couple that I'm testing out, and I might do a review on those shorts. If you care, let me know and tell me, yeah, review that, or tell us about it in a video in the comment section below. I say all that to say that most shorts are going to have the slit pockets, meaning you're going to have to put stuff in and take stuff out through the side of the pocket as opposed to putting it over top. The issue with that is that when you sit down, depending on how deep the pocket is, stuff could fall out, which is not ideal. Also, depending on what shorts you have, if they're like running shorts or gym shorts or whatever, they're not necessarily all going to have the same amount of pockets in all the same places. So you're not necessarily able to carry all the same stuff that you would normally carry. And if it's a drawstring type gym short type thing, you're not going to be able to carry as much weight as you normally would be able to in a pair of jeans with a good belt. So what's great about a fanny pack is that you can carry all the same stuff that you would normally carry. You can also keep it consistent as far as where everything is and where everything's located, regardless of what you're wearing. The other thing that's nice is that nothing's going to come falling out because you have a strap that is strapped around your body, and then as long as this is all zipped up, nothing's going anywhere. This one's going to be a quick one, the ability to add or subtract gear very easily. As you can see, all you have to do to attach or unattach this from your body is unclicking this and clicking it back on. What's great about that is, let's say this has medical in it. Let's say that you have a battle belt. Now, a battle belt, depending on what kind you have, different ways of attaching things and taking things off of it. For me, I have a t.rex Arms Orion belt, and really the only way to take stuff off of that is either to take the belt out of a bunch of things and take a bunch of other gear off to take something off, or you have to undo the molly webbing, neither of which are fun to do or quick to do. Let's say I wanted to add medical to that setup without having to do all the stuff I previously listed. I can simply put this around my waist, click it on, and position it wherever I want on my belt line so that it's easily accessible or not, depending on what I'm doing. And it's very simple to do. Also, let's say you want someone else to be able to have medical or to be able to have certain types of gear that is not equipped with anything. You can just throw this to them. They can click it on and they have the stuff. Last ones for reasons why, at least for me, is going to be theme parks. A fanny pack is great in a theme park, especially if it's a theme park with roller coasters, because we talked about all the short stuff before. You don't want stuff flying out, especially at a ride. It could land anywhere underneath the ride, and they may or may not shut it down to let you look for your stuff. And if you find it, it might be broken anyway when it lands. So you don't want your stuff flying out. What's great about this is, again, as long as it's zipped up and strapped to your body, it's not going anywhere regardless of the G-forces. And another thing you need to think about if you're going to a theme park is going to be lap bars. Typically a roller coaster is going to have a big bar that goes over your lap, and that's what keeps your body inside of the ride as opposed to flying out. So what's great about the fanny pack is you can have it in front of you so that you can easily access all the stuff inside when you're walking around doing whatever, waiting in line. But then when the lap bar comes down, you can slide it off to the side so that you can still retain all your stuff and it's not going anywhere, and you don't have to put it in a bag locker or something. But you also can get the lap bar to go across your lap and as tight as possible so that you're not going to fly out of the ride. I might do a video on traveling considerations and TSA stuff and hotel stuff and theme park stuff as far as being able to travel with defensive tools and medical and things like that, because I had to do a lot of research and figure things out myself when me and my family went to a theme park for vacation. So if that's something that you want to know more about or get some tips from me on, let me know in the comment section below, and I may or may not make a video depending on the comments. Dimensions. One thing that I noticed with these two sacks is that, gosh, come on, Spiritus, is that this seems smaller than this. And I brought a tape measure out so I could double check. The dimensions are supposed to be width of 7 inches, a height of 4.5 inches, and a depth of 2.5 inches. So measuring this, I would say that the dimension of depth is pretty good as far as being 2.5. If I just measure the front panel itself, I would say exactly 7 inches on this. And then if I measured the height on just the front panel, I would say it's more like 4 inches for the height of the panel. And this is a Spiritus Systems product. It's not a knockoff. So what I will say is, this is a knockoff. This is a knockoff of the Spiritus Systems SAC MK2. And one of the big dimension differences for this one, even though it says it's the same dimensions as that on the website for this knockoff, this is, I would say, is more like 4.5 inches at least tall. And then the width is more like 7.5 inches. The depth is a little bit wider as well, but not by much actually. So this is about 2.5 inches depth, but I would say it's wider and taller as far as my measurements with this go. So that is something to think about. And I don't know if it's necessarily good data or not, because this is not a Spiritus Systems SAC. It's a knockoff, so it might be slightly larger. And you might say, oh no, I have the Spiritus Systems MK2 SAC and it's the exact same size as this. Rock on. But if you have watched my other review on this and you have bought this and you're thinking when you buy this it's going to be the same size, it's not. I would say that this is actually a little bit smaller than the dimensions that are advertised on Spiritus Systems website. And I would also keep in mind that this is a little bit bigger than advertised for that particular SAC that is very similar to and almost an exact copy of the Spiritus Systems SAC MK2. Did that make any sense? Now I will attempt to tell you all of the colors that this comes in from memory. If you are impressed, let me know in the comment section below. This is Ranger Green, which is the one that I have. This also comes in black, Coyote Brown, Wolf Gray, Multicam, Multicam Arid, Multicam Tropic, Multicam Black. This also comes in Woodland M81, and I think that's it. Let me just double check the list. Dude, got them all. That's it. Are you impressed? Let me know in the comment section below. Now it's time for everyone's favorite portion, pros and cons. First pro I will say on this is that it has loop Velcro inside. So both sides you have loop Velcro. The pro to that is that you're going to be able to put any type of accessories, any type of organization you want, so you can really customize it. You can put holsters that take Velcro, and you could put guns in this possibly. So I like that. I like that they're big panels and you're able to fit stuff in there. I guess I would say the con to that is that there's no built-in organization. So after you ended up spending the $64.95 on this, you still have to buy additional things to organize the gear that you put inside of it. The next one, we kind of touched on it in dimensions, but this is a little bit smaller than advertised. That's a con if you're trying to put a lot of stuff in it. It's a pro if you are trying to make sure that this isn't big and bulky and in the way when you're wearing it. And also that being a little bit smaller, it's going to not be able to carry as much weight and be a little bit lighter of a setup. Another pro I would say are the amount of color options that I previously listed. You can be covert or overt and match whatever gear that you have, or just your daily EDC fashion with the color options. So that is a pro. I would say this could be a pro or a con depending. You have a little molly webbing here on both sides. This could be good if you want to have a Sharpie or, click stuff to it or whatever. It gives you the option to have more stuff on it. The con, I would say, is if you're trying to make this look discreet, any type of molly section is going to scream tactical to those who are in the know and maybe some people who are not. So you could cut this off if you wanted to. It's on there already. So, it gives it the option, I guess, but this could be a pro or a con depending on where you land. Elastic bungees. So these come with a little elastic bungee that comes out so you can put smokes, tourniquet, whatever, through the little elastic loops. I took mine out. The nice thing is that they are removable if you don't want them, and it's also good to carry extra stuff if you want. In a fanny pack configuration, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because whatever this stuff would be sitting, if it's in front of you, isn't going to be that comfortable. If you have it in any other position, it's fine and it's extra storage apart from what's inside. The problem is kind of the keepers. So the keepers are fastened to the inside. What I would like is just to have the keepers inside here on this side, and then as long as the elastic, which I removed, elastic cord is attached, this isn't going to go anywhere. It's going to stay in place, especially if you have something hanging on to those two loops. And then I could either just take these keepers completely out and just set them aside so that I have more room and stuff isn't getting caught on it. That's actually inside. That would be cool, but you do have the option if you want to cut this off. It just feels very final to me. So that's really nitpicky though. Otherwise, I think these are great to have. Lastly, and this is also pretty nitpicky, the pull cords are this braided cordage, whereas the knockoff actually has better pull tabs. I like these a lot better because a lot easier, bigger, a lot easier to get and hold on to, and I think they look better too. So I guess I would give the advantage on the amount of stuff you can hold with this and the pull tabs with that as well. Also, I would say a pro is this strap. It's very minimal, but it's also pretty comfortable, and the adjustment doesn't move on you when you set it. And then this guy, buckle, very positive click, and it's not going anywhere. And I would also say a pro is durability so far. It feels really well constructed, and I took it to a theme park every day on rides and traveled with it. Still looks the same. So I would say durability so far is a pro. Now you're probably thinking, hey, this empty fanny pack is great and all, but what kind of stuff can you put in it? I got you. Let me show you some options. So first, let's talk about medical. We'll talk about what's in this. This is a pull-out tray for the Med 1 pouch by T.REX Arms, and this is what you would get with it if you bought it full and it was actually in stock. So you have, I'll just pull out each individual thing for you so you can see. You got one of these guys. You have quick clot combat gauze. You have combat dressing. You also have some high fin sucking chest wound chest seals. 2 of those by North American Rescue. And I also have here a Gen 7 cat tourniquet. So we'll see if we can fit all this in there. Put that in there like that. And you can either have it zip up so that that's right there and you can pull it out, or you can put it out of the way. And you can see there's still quite a bit of room in here. So I'll also put this tourniquet in here as well. Put that on top. And without any issue, I can carry all of this inside of here. And then I still have this front section that I could put stuff in as well. What might I put in that? I'm glad you asked. So I have a battery holder. This is actually from a video that I did for the T.rex Arms Ready Rig. So if you want to know what this is, I'll leave a link in the description below. But I talked about what this was and what I'm using it for and what I want to use it for my low-light class. But I have 4 CR123A batteries in here. I have some chapstick, of course. You know I love my chapstick. And then this is hook Velcro. So originally when I was using this in my whole theme park stuff, I had it inside and then I ended up moving out into the front pouch. So I just have this in here so I can easily access it, and of course easily access my chapstick, very important. And then I also have a zebra pen. It's a little metal pen, clicky, and I just put that on top. I put all that in there without any issues. So that's the profile you're looking at when having all this together. Now let's look at some other things. Flashlight. This is a Surefire EDCL2T, and goes in with plenty of room. Oh. Now, just because I want to see if this will fit, I don't think I would carry it like this, but just to see if it'll fit, this is unloaded, by the way. I want to see if my Glock 19 with a TLR 1HL and a Holosun 507 CX2 would fit. Let's find out. I don't think so. If I try it like this, does it fit upside down? No. So it won't fit. Let me see if I take the light off, if it will fit. Let's see if this will fit with the light off. Wait a minute. I'm gonna try to zip it. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. All right, this will fit without the flashlight on. So a Glock 19 Gen 4 with a Holosun 507C X2 with suppressor height sights will fit in here. It'll be kind of awkward. What I would suggest, if you were to carry it like this, I would suggest carrying it without a round in the chamber with a loaded magazine. Because what you would have to do if you were to draw this, you'd have to pull it, you'd have to one, unzip it, then pull it out, then rack it, and then use it. Because otherwise, you would be carrying without anything covering the trigger guard with a loaded gun, and that is probably not a good idea. So technically, this could work provided that you are safe with it and you think about how you're going to carry it. Next, we will try a Glock 43 with a Vickers Tactical +2 extension on a standard magazine. This will fit. And that'll fit just fine. No issues there. What I would recommend with this, though, is this. I'll try to remember where I got this. This is a Kydex holster. It's a pocket holster, so that one, you have this little spot here for your thumb, so you can click it out in your pocket before you draw, so it's easier. You also have this hook so that when you pull it out of your pocket, it hooks to the corner of your pocket, and then you just take the gun out as opposed to the whole thing. So let's see how that would look. Can I do up and down? I can't do up and down, but I could do this sideways here. I think. Ooh, let's see. That fin's kind of making it difficult. If I really stretched it over it, I probably could, but that hook is poking down a little bit. But if I were to draw it like this, I would first unzip it, and then I would catch it on here, pull it out, and then I'd be ready to rock because I could have this loaded in this configuration with a round in the chamber. So that might be an option. If you had something like this, but maybe you either ground the hook down a little bit so that it would fit better, or you could also do this without the extended magazine. You could probably do it with the flush. Let's just double check. All right, trying it again with flush magazine. Put this in here, and I can actually have this flat. So barrel is pointed that way, grip is down here, and you can see that doesn't look that weird at all. So again, probably what I would do is I would have the zipper over here, grip this down, grab in, pull out, and as I was pulling out, I would catch it on the side, and then that could work really well actually. So Glock 43 with that type of holster, just loose in there will fit, and you could also draw it and have it be loaded in there while it's in there, but you would have to have the flush magazine to do that. I would have to say that weighing the pros and the cons are not conny enough to make me not want to keep this. And the pros are very pro-y. So I think that I am going to calculate all of that together and say that I really like this fanny pack and I'm going to keep it. I like the coloration, as green is my favorite color, and Ranger green and black looks really good together. I think it looks cool, and I'm not worried that I'm going to feel like a dork with this fanny pack on, but it also isn't so tactical that people are going to think that there's some crazy stuff in here. So I think it's good balance, and I really like it. Those are my final thoughts. Well, we reviewed a thing, but now it's time to say goodbye. This is going to be it for me and the Spiritus Systems Fanny Sack MK3. If you have any questions that I didn't answer in this review, leave them in the comment section below. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate you to let YouTube know. If you have not yet subscribed and you've enjoyed the content that I've provided thus far and you think I've earned it, hit the subscribe button. And if you have any other things that you were able to fit in this that you'd like to share with our community, be sure to leave those in the comment section below. It'd be interesting for me to see and would probably help everyone watching this video. Links to everything that you saw in this video in the description below. And as always, thanks again for watching. Stay free.